Hi everybody, let me reintroduce myself. Mud Jeep 33, also known as Jim. Welcome back to my channel. Well, probably welcome to my channel. There's not very many people that have spent a lot of time stopping on my channel. How long have I had this channel? Since 2010. 2010, I started a YouTube channel. Why? Because, well, I was out with a friend and I were out river boating, and we were going up a channel. I was videotaping it with a handheld camcorder. That was a lot of fun. And we ended up on the riverbank because we kind of went around a sharp corner and ran out of water. So up on the bank we go. The rest of the day we were busy taking it off. So I started a YouTube channel so I could post a little video so I could share it with my friend, and that's about how far I went. I had every intention on making it an adventure type channel. I was a lot younger back then, 2010. We won't talk about how old I am right now. And the channel's been dormant since about then. Why did I call it Mud Jeep? Well, first off, 33 is my favorite number. So sorry about, please don't take it on my lottery ticket. So 33 is my favorite number, and at the time I was driving a 1984 Jeep CJ7. Beautiful black thing, older, starting to get rusted, and I still have it, but it is parked now because of the rust, and it needs basically a frame-off restoration. So, and in between the time from 2010 to now, I actually lost access to my channel, forgot my password. I had it written down somewhere, but you know what, looking for it, I couldn't break back into my channel. When Google took it over, thankfully I was able to go back through the process, and everything was still on file. I had my email address that it was assigned to and stuff. And so I finally got my channel back, and it still sat dormant for quite a while. I've had it back for a while, and I took my old video, re-edited it a little bit, and posted it again. Nobody's seen it. Well, I mean, I get it, right? Here I'm making a video, or I have a channel, Mud Jeep 33, which you would think that if you were coming to it, you would see a bunch of muddy Jeeps. That is totally understandable. And then you see a boat video. Well, we were pretty muddy that day, but it's a boat when I'm talking about Jeeps. So at the end of the day, I can see why the people that looked at it, I think I have overall since 2010, about 1,100 views on that video for 2010, and it's 16 years. Excellent. So I can understand people. You know, there was a comment or two saying, hey, this is confusing. You're saying one thing and it's about something else. And I didn't have a very good name for the video either, so there wasn't a big hook. I didn't know what I was doing. YouTube was relatively new, and it seemed like a lark. And now, as I get a little bit older, I'm a little more mature, I can look at it and go, you know what, I can have some fun with that. I'm still working, but I'm nearing retirement, so what am I going to do? Well, let's resurrect this channel, right? Mud Jeep 33. I still have the 84. It's parked, and I currently drive a Ford Escape. So not very telling, but you know what? I'm to the point now where, having been a Jeep driver, I want to get back into it. Where did I start with my Jeep journey? Well, when I was about much younger, in 1984 as a matter of fact, I bought my first brand new vehicle. What was it? It was a Jeep CJ7 Renegade. It was the blue color, that kind of sky blue with the deckling package, the blue deckling package, and it was the Renegade package. Had the tack and the clock, of course, why not? I ordered it actually from the Jeep dealer, and they brought it. They had it shipped in from the factory, for heaven's sakes. So I waited for a number of weeks for that, and I got it, and that was my daily driver for a couple of years. When I say a couple of years, in '86, my Jeep got stolen. I parked it one evening, went to bed, got up the next morning, was going to go out and do some grocery shopping, had my key in my hand, and my Jeep was gone. And the town I lived in at the time, Tumbler Ridge, shout out, had Jeeps plenty. CJs were very popular in that town back then. I mean, understandably, if you've ever been to Tumbler Ridge, you would know what I'm talking about. And they came into town, there was a bunch of Jeeps around, and they stole mine. I was very unhappy with that, but it is what it is. Filed an insurance claim. The day they were going to give me my insurance payout, they found my Jeep, which was disconcerting, except for it was in parts. So the insurance company offered to have a look at it and decide whether they were going to write it off. From what I heard from the police, it wasn't worth it. They had it literally stripped. So they would have had to do 100% rebuild on it. They would have written it off, and it would have taken weeks for them to go through that. So what did I do? Well, I found a sky blue Jeep Comanche. So I thought, I'm going to stay in the Jeep line, and a pickup truck would be kind of cool, but I don't want a full pickup truck. The Jeep Comanche was a pretty sharp-looking vehicle, in my opinion, back then. So I got one of those, drove it for a couple of years. It wasn't a replacement for the Renegade. Like, I don't think anything can replace the CJs, right? That's why I have one parked in a field right now. But, you know, it did its job. And then a couple of years after that, about in '89, I got a divorce, and she got the Comanche, right? So lost it. And at that point, heading into the '90s, I was Jeepless. Hadn't, you know, my CJ gotten stolen, the Comanche, lost it in the divorce. And so where was I off to? Well, I was off to paramedic school. Paramedic, by the way. And during that time, starving student, trying to just get by, drove whatever I could. My parents lent me a Pinto. So that was my school driver. And then over time, as I got into another relationship with my current wife, she had a Ford Mustang. So drove hers whenever I could, but the Pinto whenever I had to. And then after I finished school, the Pinto went away, and we got into, I think I got a minivan by that time, because we were working on a family, and we still had the Mustang for a little while. And then we went through a couple of other vehicles, and then in about the mid '90s, we were in a position enough we could get back into Jeeps. So the first Jeep we got back into, my wife bought, was a Jeep Cherokee, one of the smaller ones that they had, and we drove that as our daily driver for years. Put a lot of miles on it, very reliable. Had the straight six in it, and we just used it lots. And then when she got a job that required a newer vehicle with more reliability, we traded into a Jeep Compass. And then the Compass, it did its job. And from there, a Grand Cherokee. So we bought a Grand Cherokee, a dark blue color, and we drove that she drove that as her daily driver. By this time I had a Dodge Dakota pickup. So moving toward Jeeps, because Daimler Chrysler owned that, and that was part of the Dodge Chrysler Jeep family. And then went into, from the Dakota, I went to a Ram 1500. So moved up a size because we had a trailer and we were camping and stuff like that. And then we got rid of the trailer, got rid of the Dodge Ram, needed something else. So this time that's when I got my Ford Escape in the last couple of years. The Ford Escape, it's been a wonderful vehicle, but you know what? Even though it's all-wheel drive, it's not a Jeep, right? The iconic feel of the Jeep, the ruggedness of it. So where am I at now? Well, I still have my Escape, and I'm looking this week over getting back into the Jeeps. I'm thinking a Wrangler, maybe, or a Gladiator. I'm actually leaning toward the Gladiator. The Jeep cab, the Jeep back seat, and then a pickup box that I can also use for transporting my bikes, as well as the rugged capability of going off-road if I want a little bit. Not quite as short as the Wranglers, but you know, maybe a little gentler ride for these old bones. I don't know. I mean, I still have my old CJ. It's just parked in a field waiting for either me to rebuild it and do a frame off restoration, or somebody else who's equally enthusiastic about Jeeps. So that's where I'm at. The other thing about Jeeps in this family, my wife has her Grand Cherokee. My daughter has a Jeep Wrangler. She's got a nice gray Jeep Wrangler that she goes on all manner of adventures in. So at the end of the day, I'm the only one without a Jeep, which I think I want to rectify now. So this week I'm looking at probably a Gladiator. We'll see. I'm open to Wranglers with the right bits and pieces. I don't need a new one. I think a good used one, and there's a number of good used ones in the area. So that's where I'm at. Feel free to comment in the comment section. Are you a Wrangler person, a Gladiator person, middle of the road person, one of each? Well, I'm not going to get one of each. We'll see. But let me know what you think. So Wrangler or Gladiator, which one? And we'll have to hear from you. So what am I going to do with this channel? Well, I'm heading toward my shady years, heading toward retirement. I would like to go on more adventures, and that's why I'm going back into the Jeep line. Hopefully it takes me on a lot more adventures. And let me know too about my CJ. Should I sell it and let somebody younger get into Jeep line and maybe do some good restoration on it? Or should I try to save up and restore it myself? Either way, I think it could be fun. So send me your advice in the comments. What should I look for? Should I rebuild the Jeep? Should I not rebuild the Jeep? If you've got some good advice about your Wranglers or your Gladiators, let me know. Let me know what you think, so that I'm not steered astray. I'd like to say subscribe, but you know what? We'll maybe run this a couple of times until I get more consistent, and then you can hopefully follow me on my CJ journey if you subscribe. Until then, I appreciate you guys sitting through my first reintroduction to the video, as cringe as it may be. I'm going to do some editing on this. I'll put it up online hopefully tonight or first thing in the morning, and we'll see where it goes. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch this. And so for all you classic Jeeps out there, see you on the highway.